The sky above Seoul darkened as massive metallic ships emerged from a shimmering portal, blocking out sunlight. Jay Park stood at the window of the Military Observation Center, his fingers gripping a cold ceramic mug of black coffee. The alien vessels were unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Sleek, obsidian-like structures that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Sirens began wailing across the city. People in the street stopped, looked up and froze. Some ran. Some stood paralyzed. Others simply stared in disbelief. Commander Krell, leader of the Galactic Expansion Fleet, watched Earth's surface through advanced holographic displays. His species had conquered hundreds of planets, and this one looked disappointingly primitive. Metallic structures, visible communication networks, and what appeared to be basic atmospheric transportation vehicles suggested a civilization barely emerging from its technological infancy. "Initiate standard planetary submission protocol," Krell commanded his bridge crew. A massive energy wave pulsed from the alien ships, disrupting electrical grids across entire continents. Communications systems crashed. Power stations went dark. Within minutes, major cities around the world experienced complete technological shutdown. At the Seoul military base, Jay Park watched computer screens flicker and die. Emergency backup generators hummed to life, casting a dim green glow across the command center. Military personnel exchanged worried glances, waiting for instructions. An alien transmission suddenly filled every remaining operational communication channel. A cold mechanical voice spoke in perfect human language. "Inhabitants of Earth, your technological infrastructure is now under our control. Surrender is the only logical response." The transmission repeated, emotionless and precise. Outside, the first wave of alien dropships began descending. They moved with impossible grace, defying known physics. Metallic legs extended from their undersides, preparing to touch ground in strategic locations across urban centers. In a small apartment near downtown Seoul, Yoona Kim, a quantum physics researcher, watched the invasion unfold. Her research on quantum entanglement had always suggested the possibility of advanced civilizations, but nothing prepared her for this moment. The first alien ground units emerged from their dropships. They were tall, approximately 3 meters in height, with exoskeletal armor that seemed to shift and adapt with each movement. Their weapons looked more like living organisms than mechanical devices, pulsing with an inner light that suggested advanced biotechnological design. Military units worldwide attempted resistance. Tanks rolled out. Fighter jets scrambled. But against the alien technology, human weapons seemed like children's toys. Krell observed the ground invasion with clinical detachment. Historical data suggested this planet would fall within hours. Previous civilizations had collapsed much faster under similar technological disparities. What Krell didn't know was that humans possessed something his species could never comprehend: an unpredictable adaptability that defied standard conquest. Algorithms. Jay Park watched a group of civilian engineers already pulling apart captured alien equipment near the command center. Instead of panic, he saw curiosity. Instead of fear, he witnessed an emerging determination. The invasion was proceeding, exactly as planned, except perhaps not quite in the way the aliens expected. As alien ground units began securing key infrastructure, small pockets of human resistance started forming. Not through organized military channels, but through spontaneous, chaotic human networks, social media groups, underground communication channels, local community networks. Yoona Kim's fingers were already typing furiously, analyzing the quantum signature of the alien transmission. Something about their communication protocol seemed unusual. Hours into the invasion, something unexpected began happening. The aliens' supposedly impenetrable communication systems started experiencing inexplicable interference. Small glitches, momentary signal disruptions. Krell's subordinates reported the anomalies, but the commander dismissed them. A fatal mistake. Humanity's response to invasion would not be traditional. It would be something entirely different. As night fell over, the invaded cities, a quiet revolution was already beginning, not with weapons, not with traditional resistance, but with something far more powerful: human ingenuity. The invasion had begun. But the real story was just starting. The first week of the alien invasion revealed something the extraterrestrial forces never anticipated: human adaptability. J. Park watched as engineers and scientists across the globe began systematically dismantling captured alien technology. In a makeshift laboratory beneath Seoul's university campus, Yoona Kim worked tirelessly. Her team had discovered that human, neural networks could interface with alien systems in ways the invaders couldn't predict. Each alien device they touched revealed more secrets. Krell's monitoring systems showed strange patterns. Human resistance wasn't following any expected protocol. Instead of traditional military responses, they were treating alien technology like a complex puzzle to be solved. Small resistance groups emerged in unexpected places. A group of teenage programmers in Tokyo managed to hack into alien communication channels. A team of retired engineers in Brazil began reverse engineering captured alien weapons. In rural areas across multiple continents, people started creating makeshift communication networks that completely bypassed traditional infrastructure. Yoona's breakthrough came unexpectedly. By mapping the quantum signatures of alien communication, she discovered a fundamental weakness in their technological network. The aliens relied on a centralized communication system that assumed all technological interactions would follow rigid, predictable patterns. Humans, by contrast, were chaotic. Unpredictable. Military units began adapting captured alien equipment. A tank modified with partially understood alien energy systems could now move faster and hit harder than any previous design. Soldiers equipped with hybrid technology started showing remarkable capabilities. Krell received increasingly disturbing reports. Invasion zones that should have been completely subdued were showing signs of active resistance. Communication networks were becoming unreliable. Equipment that should have been completely controlled was somehow being reprogrammed. In the first month, the aliens lost more technological assets than in their entire previous 100-year conquest history. J. Park's strategy was simple, but brilliant. Instead of fighting the aliens directly, humanity was learning from them. Every piece of captured technology became a learning opportunity. Every failed attempt was a chance to understand more. Underground networks spread information faster than the aliens could track. A manual for modifying alien weapons would be shared across continents within hours. Modifications that improved human technological capabilities spread like wildfire. The alien commander became increasingly frustrated. His invasion protocols, which had worked perfectly on hundreds of planets, were failing completely against this strange adaptive species. Yoona's team discovered something even more remarkable: human emotional responses, something the aliens considered a weakness were actually a strength in technological adaptation. The ability to think creatively, to make illogical leaps, was breaking down the aliens' rigid technological systems. Small victories began mounting. A group of farmers in the American Midwest used modified alien communication devices to create a regional warning system. Students in European universities started developing advanced coding techniques that could penetrate alien network defenses. Krell's subordinates began questioning the invasion strategy. The humans were not just resisting, they were learning and improving at an impossible rate. By the third month, the invasion had transformed. What was supposed to be a quick planetary conquest had become a complex technological chess match. The aliens were no longer the clear technological superiors. In underground laboratories, makeshift workshops, and improvised research centers, humanity was fighting back. Not with traditional weapons, but with something far more powerful: collective intelligence and unbounded creativity. J. Park looked at the latest reports and allowed himself a small smile. The invasion was not going as the aliens had planned. Not at all. The real battle was just beginning, and humanity was just getting started. The world transformed in ways no one could have predicted. Yoona Kim's quantum research team had unlocked something extraordinary: a method to interface human consciousness directly with alien technology. What began as a scientific experiment became humanity's most powerful weapon. Jay Park watched as the first successful neural interface demonstration occurred. A researcher connected to a captured alien communication device, and suddenly, complex technological systems became as readable as a simple children's book. The alien technology, designed to be impossible for other species to understand, crumbled under human curiosity. Krell's monitoring systems began experiencing unprecedented disruptions. Entire communication networks started flickering, losing coherence. The alien commander realized something fundamental was changing, but couldn't understand. What universities became secret weapon development centers. Engineering students who once studied traditional technology now reverse-engineered alien systems during lunch breaks. A group of high school students in Brazil created a communication network that could bypass alien jamming technologies completely. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. Humans discovered that emotional intelligence, something the aliens considered a weakness, was actually a powerful computational tool. Where alien systems followed strict logical pathways, human networks could make intuitive leaps that defied traditional computational models. Military research centers started producing hybrid technologies, tanks that could change shape, communication, devices that could predict and avoid alien tracking systems, weapons that adapted in real time to combat situations. Yuna's team developed a quantum entanglement communication system that made previous human communication technologies look like primitive smoke signals. Information could now be transmitted, instantly, without any detectable signal. The aliens' sophisticated monitoring systems became essentially useless. Global cooperation reached unprecedented levels. Countries that had previously been enemies now shared technological discoveries within hours. An engineering team in China would develop a breakthrough, and within minutes, researchers in Canada would be improving upon the design. Krell's frustration grew with each passing day. His invasion force, which had conquered hundreds of planets, was being systematically dismantled by a species that shouldn't have been capable of such rapid technological adaptation. Small communities became centers of innovation. A group of farmers in rural Kansas developed a communication system using modified alien technology that could track enemy movements across hundreds of miles. Retired engineers turned their workshops into advanced research centers. The neural interface technology allowed humans to understand alien systems at a fundamental level. What should have taken decades of research was being accomplished in weeks. Each captured alien device became a learning opportunity, a puzzle to be solved and improved. Military strategies changed completely. Instead of traditional combat, humans began using technological warfare that the aliens couldn't comprehend. Entire alien communication networks could be disrupted with a few lines of specially designed code. Jay Park's strategic teams developed combat algorithms that were impossible for alien systems to predict. Where alien technology followed strict computational pathways, human strategies introduced beautiful chaos. Yuna discovered that human creativity was the most powerful weapon. The ability to think beyond logical constraints, to make unexpected connections, became a technological superpower that the aliens couldn't understand or defend against. By the 6th month of the invasion, the technological landscape had completely transformed. What began as a planetary conquest had become a complex technological chess match, and humanity was winning. Krell watched in growing desperation as his invasion force lost more ground with each passing day. The humans were not just resisting, they were evolving faster than any species the aliens had ever encountered. The quantum communication networks spread like a living organism. Each new connection made the entire system stronger, more adaptive. Traditional concepts of technological warfare became obsolete. In research centers, military bases, and improvised workshops around the world, humanity was rewriting the rules of technological engagement. The invasion had become something entirely different, a rapid, unprecedented technological evolution. The aliens had come to conquer. Instead, they had awakened something they could never have anticipated, a species ready to fight back. A civilization about to show the universe what true technological revolution looked like. The global counteroffensive began quietly, like a whisper that would soon become a thunderous roar. Jay Park stood in the underground command center, watching holographic maps that showed a coordinated human response unlike anything in military history. Yuna Kim's quantum communication network had transformed military strategy. Information traveled faster than light, allowing instant coordination between resistance groups across continents. What the aliens thought were isolated pockets of resistance were actually carefully planned strategic nodes of a global network. The KOP first major strike happened simultaneously in 5 different continents. Hybrid human-alien technology, developed in secret laboratories, struck alien communication and supply lines. Military units that looked like ordinary vehicles transformed mid-battle, revealing advanced capabilities that defied previous technological understanding. Krell's monitoring systems went dark. One by one, alien communication nodes began to fail. The invasion force that had seemed invincible just months ago now looked vulnerable. In Tokyo, a team of engineers hijacked an alien dropship. In Buenos Aires, a group of university students developed a technology that could disable alien energy shields. In Cairo, mechanics transformed captured alien vehicles into advanced human weapons. The counteroffensive wasn't just a military operation. It was a global collaboration that crossed every possible human boundary. Countries that had been enemies weeks ago now shared technology and strategic information in real time. Military strategies became fluid, changing faster than the aliens could analyze. Where alien systems expected rigid responses, human units moved with unpredictable creativity. A tank unit might suddenly transform into a communication hub. A supply convoy could become a mobile research center within minutes. Jay Park's strategic teams had developed something revolutionary, a combat algorithm that introduced controlled chaos into military operations. The aliens' sophisticated prediction systems became useless against human unpredictability. Yuna's neural interface technology allowed soldiers to communicate and coordinate in ways that seemed almost telepathic. Information, strategies, and tactical adjustments moved faster than any traditional communication system. The aliens began to realize they were no longer dealing with a primitive species. Humanity had transformed during the invasion, becoming something entirely unexpected. Underground, resistance groups became as important as traditional military units. A group of teenage hackers in Mumbai could disable an alien communication network. Farmers in rural areas became advanced technological resistance fighters. Krell watched in growing desperation as his invasion force lost ground. Entire planetary invasion zones that should have been completely controlled were showing active resistance. Communication networks became unreliable. Equipment that should have been completely subdued was being reprogrammed. The hybrid technologies developed during the resistance phase now showed their true potential. Vehicles that could change shape, weapons that could adapt to combat situations in real time, communication systems that could predict and avoid alien tracking. Global cooperation reached levels never seen before. An engineering breakthrough in one country would be improved and implemented globally within hours. The entire human species had become a single adaptive organism. Military units no longer followed traditional structures. A group of retired engineers could be as strategically important as a tank battalion. A team of university students could develop a technology that changed entire battlefield dynamics. Yuna's quantum communication network became the nervous system of human resistance. Information traveled instantly, allowing for coordination that the aliens couldn't comprehend. What looked like isolated resistance groups were actually carefully planned strategic nodes. The counteroffensive wasn't just about fighting, it was about learning, adapting, and transforming. Each captured alien technology became an opportunity for innovation. Jay Park watched the global map, seeing how human resistance had transformed into a coordinated global response. The invasion that was supposed to subdue humanity had instead awakened something powerful. Krell received increasingly disturbing reports. Invasion zones that should have been completely controlled were showing active resistance. Communication networks were becoming unreliable. Equipment was being reprogrammed. The aliens had expected a quick conquest. Instead, they had awakened a species capable of rapid, unprecedented adaptation. The counteroffensive was more than a military operation. It was humanity's declaration to the universe. We are not just survivors. We are something more. The final confrontation began in the empty spaces between Earth's atmosphere and deep space. Krell's remaining fleet gathered, preparing what they believed would be their ultimate assault on humanity. Jay Park watched from the Global Command Center. Yuna Kim stood beside him, her fingers dancing across quantum communication interfaces. They knew this would be the moment that defined human existence. The alien fleet approached with mathematical precision. Thousands of ships, each representing technological superiority developed over centuries of galactic conquests. They expected total victory. Humanity's response was anything but traditional. Instead of massive military vessels, the human counterforce looked like a chaotic network. Modified satellites, repurposed communication arrays, quantum-entangled weapon platforms that could change configuration faster than light could travel. Krell's primary battleship detected something unusual. Human technological signatures didn't match any known resistance protocols. They were changing, adapting with each passing moment. The first wave of alien attacks met unexpected resistance. Weapons designed to obliterate planetary defenses suddenly found themselves redirected. Energy signals twisted into complex mathematical patterns that defied standard computational models. Yuna's team had developed something extraordinary, a communication network that wasn't just a technology, but a living, breathing system. Each human node could think, adapt, and respond independently while remaining part of a larger collective intelligence. Jay's strategic teams had transformed military engagement into a fluid, dynamic process. Where alien systems expected rigid responses, human units moved with unprecedented creativity. A communication satellite could become a weapon. A research platform could transform into a defensive shield. The battle moved beyond traditional understanding of warfare. It wasn't about destroying the enemy, but about understanding and fundamentally changing the engagement parameters. Alien ships found their advanced targeting systems becoming increasingly unreliable. Communication networks collapsed. Weapon systems redirected themselves in ways that seemed impossible. Krell watched in growing desperation. His invasion force, which had conquered hundreds of planets, was being systematically dismantled by a species that shouldn't have been capable of such rapid adaptation. Quantum communication networks spread like a living organism across human, defensive platforms. Each new connection made the entire system stronger, more adaptive. Traditional concepts of technological warfare became obsolete. The human response wasn't just about fighting. It was about transformation. Each captured alien, technology became an opportunity for innovation. Where the aliens saw conquest, humans saw a learning opportunity. Military units moved with impossible fluidity. A defensive platform could become an offensive weapon in milliseconds. Communication systems predicted and redirected alien attacks before they could be initiated. Yuna's neural interface technology allowed for a level of coordination that defied traditional understanding. Soldiers could share tactical information faster than any computer could process. Entire battle strategies could be developed and implemented in moments. The final confrontation lasted less than 72 hours, but those hours would be remembered as the moment humanity redefined its place in the universe. Alien ships began retreating, not because they were destroyed, but because they were fundamentally unable to understand or predict human technological adaptation. Krell's final transmission was a mix of confusion and respect. The humans were not just a species to be conquered. They were something entirely new. As the last alien ship disappeared from Earth's solar system, Jay looked at Yuna. No words were needed. They both understood what had happened. Humanity had not just survived. They had evolved. The invasion that was supposed to end human civilization had instead awakened something powerful. A species capable of transforming challenges into opportunities. A civilization ready to look beyond its own planet.